Have you been waking up tired, even after a full night's sleep? Do you feel like you're running on empty, going through the motions, smiling on the outside, but inside you feel numb? Maybe you've been praying, but the words feel hollow. Maybe you've been showing up to work, to family, to church, but something inside you is whispering, I can't keep doing this. If you felt anxious for no reason, sad without knowing why, lonely even in a room full of people, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are burnt out. And here's what almost nobody tells you. Burnout isn't just exhaustion. Sometimes it's God's way of getting your attention. Stay with me because today I'm going to show you 8 signs God is telling you that you're burnt out and what He wants you to do next. There's a story in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 6. Jesus had just sent His disciples out. They preached, they healed, they served crowds from morning to night. And when they came back, exhausted, what did Jesus say to them? He didn't say do more. He said, come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest. Even the disciples, chosen by God Himself, needed rest. So if you're burnt out right now, you're not the first, and you won't be abandoned in it either. Here are the 8 signs. Sign number 1, you feel exhausted even when nothing is wrong. You can't point to one big disaster. No one died, no one left, nothing collapsed, but you feel drained anyway. That's not weakness. That's your body and spirit telling you you've been pouring out without being filled. Elijah felt this after defeating the prophets of Baal. Right after his biggest victory, he collapsed under a tree and asked God to let him die. 1 Kings 19:4. Even after triumph, burnout still came for him. Sign number 2, your joy feels far away. Things that used to make you smile now feel flat. This isn't necessarily depression talking. Sometimes it's a signal. Joy isn't gone, it's buried under exhaustion. Nehemiah told the people, the joy of the Lord is your strength. Nehemiah 8:10. Meaning when your strength runs out, your joy runs out too. It's a sign you need refilling, not a sign you're unworthy of joy. Sign number 3, you feel disconnected from God. Even though you haven't stopped believing, you still believe. You just feel distant, like your prayers hit the ceiling. This is one of the clearest signs of burnout. Not a crisis of faith, but a depletion of capacity. Even Elijah, in that same moment in 1 Kings 19, didn't lose his faith. He lost his strength to feel close to God. Sign number 4, small things irritate you more than they should. Snapping at people you love, feeling impatient over nothing. This isn't your true self coming out. It's burnout lowering your tolerance. Your nervous system is overloaded, and God sees that, not just your behavior. Sign number 5, you feel guilty for resting. This one's huge. You sit down for 5 minutes, and your mind says, you should be doing something. That guilt isn't from God. It's from a culture that worships busyness. God Himself rested on the 7th day, Genesis 2:2, not because He was tired, but to model that rest is holy, not lazy. Sign number 6, you're isolating, even from people who care about you. Loneliness and burnout isn't always about being alone. It's about pulling away because you don't have energy left to connect. God notices withdrawal before you even explain it. He went looking for Elijah in his isolation instead of waiting for him to come back. Sign number 7, you feel like you're failing, even though you're trying your hardest. This is burnout lying to you. Effort and outcome get confused. You think, I'm not doing enough, when really you've been doing too much for too long without refueling. God doesn't measure you by your output. He measures you by your faithfulness in the season you're in. Sign number 8, you're craving stillness but don't know how to stop. This is the most important sign. That deep craving for quiet, for slowness, for peace, that's not a flaw. That craving is God's voice, planted in you, pulling you toward Him. He's not pulling you away from your life. He's pulling you into rest so you can return to it whole. So if you recognized even 3 or 4 of these signs in yourself, I want you to hear this. This isn't punishment. This isn't God being silent. This is God interrupting your exhaustion on purpose, because He'd rather slow you down now than let you burn out completely later. So here's the question I want to leave you with. What if burnout isn't God abandoning you, but God rescuing you before you even knew you needed rescuing? What if the very tiredness you've been ashamed of is the doorway to the rest, the peace and the closeness with God you've been quietly longing for? You don't have to earn your way back to Him. You don't have to fix yourself first. He already met Elijah under that tree, tired, hopeless, ready to give up. And He didn't rebuke him. He fed him. He let him sleep. Then He spoke to him gently. That's what He wants to do for you right now. So if this spoke to you, don't just scroll past it. Sit in it for a moment. Let it be the moment you stop pushing and start receiving. God sees your tiredness, and He's not done with you.